All right, welcome back to another episode of BeawCast. Today we're switching it all up. I'm not sitting in that chair. Gio's not here. We got David though.
Gio's vagina exploded. She's getting it stitched right now.
I know. It's gonna need a lot of threading.
You stupid son of a bitch. I should have never came here.
Why?
It took me an hour to get here. It took fucking forever, dude.
There's still traffic at 10?
You know why? It's just
Or
because
9?
when you go from Glendale to anywhere in Chinatown or just Little Tokyo, you just have to switch so many freeways. It's just there's a higher percentage of something fucking up on 3 freeways versus just one. So the on-ramp that I usually get on was closed.
Yeah.
And then the second on-ramp that I was supposed to get to Little Tokyo was closed again. So I had to go locally all the way to Pasadena, get on the 110, and then the traffic was backed up on the 110 all the way through. So I couldn't get to Chinatown. So I had to go off to the 5 and then switch back in after leaving Avenue 26.
Yeah.
And so I had to switch 7 times just to get here, you stupid asshole. That's
Thanks
why I
for
don't train.
That's why I commute at like 5:30 in the morning.
Dude, it's super hard to move around LA. I think it's gotten worse.
Yeah. You know, when I growing up in LA, Saturdays and Sundays, so I grew up in Cerritos, and then my mom always came to Monterey Park because like that was like the only 99 ranch.
Yeah.
So she needed to get her Chinese food or whatever. So the weekends, we never had traffic. Up until even when I was in high school, there's no traffic. And then all of a sudden, when I started going to college, there's more and more traffic. And then I think now the only time that there's not traffic is probably like 2 a.m. But as soon as it's like 4 a.m., it starts to trickle and build again.
It's all fucked, dude. When's the last time you got picked up at LAX on a Sunday?
Dude, I just came from fucking LAX.
That's right.
Have you fucking seen this? There's fucking crosswalks inside, or crosswalkers inside the airport.
No, I didn't see it.
So, you know when there's people coming out of the gate?
Yeah.
Now, before you just come out, if you want to freely pee, you can do all that, right? You can go buy a fucking neck pillow or whatever.
Yeah.
Now there's fools with stop signs, and then it has to be groups at a time because there's just so many people. So they have people with stop signs, and then you stop, and then you can't just go, and then this group goes on inside the airport.
That's fucking ridiculous, man. Like
I know, man.
I
fucking hate LAX.
LAX, even if you guys haven't been to LA, if you're leaving or getting picked up from LAX on a Sunday, you have to make sure you go super early, and just know that when you get picked up by an Uber, unless you're like me where I'm like platinum status and shit, because I use Uber a lot.
What does that mean? You're trying to flex?
Yeah, man. It means I spend a lot of money like a dumbass.
Oh, shit.
But so what happens is that it's just so impacted. It'll take you an hour just to get picked up by an Uber. So what I do, I walk 30 minutes off the airport.
Oh my God.
And then I get picked up that way because it's faster.
Oh, you know my buddy Ryan?
Yeah.
You know what he told me?
What's up?
So maybe you could do the service too. So he's pretty much a detective now. So he works at a station, a sheriff's station, right? You know when you turn on, I think, is it Sepulveda or El Segundo? Whatever that street is that takes you to the airport. And instead of going on to where the airport, the arrival and departures, if we just go straight, that's where his office is. So he's like, from now on, just drive there. And he'll take me in a black and white, turn the lights on, and then take me. I don't know if I should be sharing this. But he'll take me to the.
Ryan is now fired.
I know, Ryan Henderson, and then he'll take me to whatever my terminal is, and then when I get back, all I have to do is just Uber to there and pick up my car and bounce. But if he's there, he'll come pick me up too.
That's dope, dude. If you guys were ever fortunate enough to see this clip of Bart, it is in a belt test. This fool beat the living shit out of Ryan. Like what he told me, it was like, yo, let me show you this MMA match. Fool, that was a mugging.
That shit was crazy back then, dude.
He literally had him on the floor, and you see Bart just smash his face in. And for some reason, I don't know what dojo you were in, but there was the face mask thing.
Yeah.
So you could hit as hard as you wanted.
Yeah, it's like plexiglass.
That shit was fucking crazy. It was like riot gear.
That's how we trained every day. That's how we were fucking banged up like crazy there.
Dude, you were doing shin kicks to the gut.
Yeah.
Everything. Like I just remember Ryan just said, and you did a switch kick to his gut. This fool almost fell over. I was like, dog, that was a beating. You beat the living shit out of him.
There's another clip in there where my best friend at the time, the same guy I got my matching tattooed with.
Oh yeah.
He fought this 50-year-old man, and he beat the living shit out of that guy.
What the fuck?
That's just the way we trained. It was like balls out all the time.
Wasn't there a clip where a guy and a girl fought each other too? Did that happen too, or am I tripping?
Could be. There's one chick that was pretty badass, and she would fuck dudes up too. But yeah, it was like, that was hardcore. That's probably like 2004, 2005.
Was that karate based?
Yeah, so I think our sensei was like Kyokushin, like hardcore karate. Him, that, and judo mixed together. So judo, you still have ground game. Like we still kind of learn arm bars and like kimuras and stuff like that. But it's a very limited compared to jiu-jitsu. And it was kind of like his own version of MMA, like a Japanese MMA with like, he's just fucking hardcore. Like he's this guy that like, all right, everyone's the first 10 minutes or first 2 rounds, we're gonna shadow box, right? So everyone's kind of shadow boxing. You see him like he pulls down his beanie down to his eyebrows. He goes to right in front of the mirror where he's like 2 inches away, and he's like he's just like a fucking rabid pit bull. And he just starts shadow boxing like a motherfucker and goes, all right, who's fucking ready to spar? And then we're just like, what the fuck? What's the technique of the day? He goes, all right, oh yeah. And then like he shows the technique.
I've never ever in my life seen somebody shadow box angry.
No, he's fucking angry.
Who does that?
He's just he told us back in the day during his matches. So he used to compete in this thing called Sabaki Challenge. It's still going on, and it's like Kyokushin matches, except you can do throws and stuff, like just like the way we train.
Oh shit, yeah.
So you can still check it out. And he would go up to meet his opponent, and he'd be like, you fucking raped my sister? You fucking raped my sister? So he really gets into that mind space. And then his opponents are always like, what the fuck? I don't even know you.
What the fuck?
But then he would take that hate and channel that hate into his fights.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Did you see, it's coming up, the fucking, so the first time they boxed, I didn't watch it. The Logan and...
KSI?
Yeah, KSI.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. And rightfully so. It was a terrible, terrible boxing match.
Yeah.
It was one of the, I saw like a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking the worst thing I've ever seen. But, you know, like they've only been boxing a really short time.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't watch it. Like, what's the point? Like for somebody to go into like even an amateur boxing match and to say that they've trained for about a year and be like, yo, I'm good now.
How do you feel about all these YouTubers like trying to box and do all that shit?
Number one, make your fucking money, because I wish somebody would challenge me, because I'm pretty sure if I did a celebrity boxing match, about 3 people would come. So like, I know for them, they're making millions and millions, so that's dope.
Word on the street, Jake Paul, KSI, Logan, I forgot who Jake Paul fought, they all made 4 million plus.
You fucking bitches, dude. You stupid Japanese forced suicide bitches, dude.
On just the buy-ins, not even merch or anything like that, just people buying in.
Like pay-per-views and everything, huh?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, man.
I know.
And it's interesting that people...
It goes against my morals, but it's a lot of money. I kind of want to do it.
I wonder how boxers feel about that, right? Because, well, boxers, I think in general, they get paid pretty decent compared to MMA fighters anyways, right?
Yeah. If you're up there.
Yeah.
But like Andy Ruiz, before he fought Anthony Joshua, he's fighting for like 7 grand, 8 grand.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. He was broke before he fought Anthony Joshua, and now he has a Rolls Royce.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm always thinking too, like, do boxers enjoy the fact that it's bringing more publicity to boxing now? Because you know, MMA has been coming up, and people, you know, they talk a lot about the UFC, even ONE FC's coming up, Bellator, everything else. But I wonder if boxers really do appreciate that they're shedding light, or do they shit on them for making a mockery out of it?
I feel like if I was a boxer, I'd be like, please, a YouTuber challenge me.
Oh, for sure.
That'd be tight.
That kid Jake Paul challenged Dylan Dennis.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know who Dylan Dennis is like a high-level jiu-jitsu guy. He looks like a Goomba from Super Mario and shit.
Yeah, he looks kind of weird.
Yeah, a little weird looking. But
he's like considered one of the top, though, in the grappling world.
In jiu-jitsu, he's, you know, decently known. Like, I don't know how jiu-jitsu people, I mean, they'll figure out their rankings. But just from my knowledge, he's dope in jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
He talks a lot of shit, too. So he's that's what he's really known for in Bellator, for talking a lot of shit, even though he hasn't really fought anybody good. Yeah. But I'm saying this, don't fuck me up. I'm saying as a fan, this is what I'm saying. You have not fought anybody worthy. I don't give a fuck. What you gonna do? Beat me up? Oh, tough guy, dude. You're gonna beat up a fat guy? Good luck. But what's it called? Yeah. So he challenged Jake. Well, Jake Paul challenged him, and I think they're gonna box too.
I hope so.
And then,
because even though he just does ground, if you're a pro fighter, your mindset, your training is way different.
Oh, for sure.
And I would love to see Jake Paul get his ass beat.
I think,
especially him thinking that he can beat his ass.
Yeah, I think Jake Paul is going to fucking die. And I'd be surprised if he won. And if he does win, then Dylan Dennis should probably just, you know, just ended his career.
Yeah, stick to grappling.
Yeah.
Don't do any MMA.
Because that'd be terrible, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be clowned on for the rest of his life.
For sure. Like no matter what he says, everybody will know him as the guy that got beat by a prissy boy little YouTuber, right? But fucking
We gotta hold for our first sponsor.
Oh yes.
Yeah. What up, guys? Our first sponsor is ShipStation. The holidays are coming up, so if you want to take advantage of that and you want to sell stuff online and you want to start your business during this time, more than ever, it's time to get ShipStation. So no matter where you're selling, Amazon, Etsy, your own website, ShipStation brings all the orders into one simple interface, which makes it really easy because this day and age, you have to have multiple platforms, but it sucks if you have to manage all of them individually. And you can manage them all from your own device, even on your cell phone. So I would highly recommend getting it. If you use our offer code BEAW, B-E-A-W, you get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months for free. And that will, if you really want to start a business right now, which is October, this holiday season, you get 2 months for free. You even have lower overhead. This is the best time to start your business and really take advantage of this. Make sure you go to ShipStation.com, enter code BEAW, B-E-A-W, B-E-A-W at ShipStation.com and make ship happen. Thank you for sponsoring the channel. Okay, we're back. I spliced them in. It doesn't ruin the conversation.
But fucking yeah, Logan Paul and KSI, they've been training. Logan's been trained by Shannon Briggs, dude.
Who's Shannon Briggs?
Shannon Briggs is a fucking beastie heavyweight. So Shannon Briggs, if you've ever seen Shannon Briggs fight, well, there's a match where you see Shannon Briggs get his ass beat by one of the Russian brothers. Fucking, he was like heavyweight champ for the longest time.
Oh, Klitschko or something.
Yeah, Klitschko, right?
Yeah.
So one of the Klitschko brothers. Piece Shannon Briggs up. But Shannon Briggs is insane. And the fact that he's getting trained by a pro boxer like that blows my mind.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul, by the way, looks jacked. He looks fucking jacked.
He's actually very athletic. I had a friend that is a strength and conditioning coach for American Top Team. Mm-hmm. And Logan Paul went to, I guess he wanted to hire him for the fight. And then so my buddy also wants to just see where he's at to see if he even wants to pursue this relationship. So he had an assessment done and he was like, Logan Paul is actually really athletic. And he says, but his boxing, he actually told me, he was like, but his boxing's pretty off.
Yeah.
He says he thinks I could take him in boxing. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh, you know. Well, that's the interesting thing too, because
he's also like 6'12" though. He's fucking tall.
He's a giant, dude.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's like, well, he's still huge. Like he's a fucking giant.
Yeah.
Like his reach is longer than my reach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So having to deal with that. And on top of that, I think he wrestled in high school too. So he already has that athletic and that foundation as a basis, just in terms of training and conditioning.
Yeah.
So
who won the first fight, KSI versus Logan?
It was a tie. So they think it was, they set it up so they could make more money.
Yeah.
But it was a really, just from like the few clips that I saw, I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was just terrible.
This one, there's no headgear though.
Oh, they're going pro, right?
Yeah.
A couple of their sparring partners too, they've been gassing him up, saying like, "Yo, they actually got some hands." So I'm actually gonna watch this one just because I feel like someone's gonna get knocked out.
I want to see someone get knocked out.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Like the whole, just the concept that these guys just, number one, they have money to get trained this way too. By the way,
Yeah.
and
Money and time, because when you make like 8 figures a year, you can go, I'm gonna take a break off YouTube for 3 months and train my fucking ass off.
Yeah, and they already have the clout and following to make money as they train because people just want to see them train.
Yeah.
Unlike Youssef, who got his ass beat. Youssef, yo man, I know like you're a really sweet dude, but what the fuck was that, bro?
I know.
Like first of all, Youssef, you embarrassed me because I backed you up on Twitter.
You did?
So this is what I saw, right?
Yeah.
I watched a couple of videos, and I like somebody who's willing to put themselves out there in terms of training, just because I know how hard it is to train.
Fuck yeah.
And so I respected that a lot out of him. And he's like, I'm dedicating myself, cool. And so I read all these comments like, Youssef, you suck, Youssef, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, bro, he just started.
Of course he's gonna suck.
Of course he's gonna suck. Like, get off his fucking back. Let the guy evolve.
Yeah.
And so I put out this tweet where I said, hey, Youssef, like, I don't know why people are trashing him. Like, it takes time to get better. And a lot of people are sitting in the stands judging him for that stuff.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, bro, he's gonna fight in a month. I was like, oops, my bad. Let me take this tweet down real quick. 2 months. He went 2 months.
Yeah, and I think it's probably his attitude about it, because I've seen some of his mitt work where he does it and obviously he sucks, you know, and then afterwards he's like, yeah, like challenge me, like I'm ready.
Yikes.
And I'm just like, oh, like if he was more humble about it, like, yeah, I'm a white belt, I'm learning, I'm trying to get better, trying to get my blue belt in boxing, it'd be different. But he thinks he's a black belt. That's the thing. And then when he invited Alex Wasabi over,
And he was piecing him up.
Alex was working his ass, and then he fucking turns it up out of nowhere in round 2 and knocks him out. I'm like, dude, like he wasn't even expecting punches that hard.
Yeah. Dude, number one, Alex, what's Alex's last name?
It's not Wasabi, right?
No, he split from the bushy eyebrow kid.
Oh, shit. I just know him as Alex Wasabi. It's in my phone as Alex Wasabi.
Yeah, well, that's how we met him. But Alex was piecing him up, dude. He was hitting him with like these short little hooks. Pop, 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 pop. He was getting him, dude.
He was actually pretty good.
Good volume, good head movement.
Yeah.
And then just fucking Yusuf just turned it up and cracked him like a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Which was shocking. And I think those type of victories probably got in his head a little bit. I think that made him feel like, yo, I beat Alex. Alex was piecing me up, but towards the end, I just need that one power punch.
Yeah, because you turned from 20% to 100% out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then he just cracked the living shit out of him, dude. Shout outs to Alex, by the way, man. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. He outskilled him by a lot.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so like watching somebody like Yusuf who went in there and he got his this motherfucker. He got his nose broken. This was that his nose looked like a doorstop.
I did, dude. That shit was like a fucking wedge of cheese. I was like, damn, man.
You guys ever see like a Labrador go to a fisheye lens? That's what fucking Yusuf's
Yeah,
nose
dude,
looked
that's
like.
what got fucked up.
I was kind of, I was rooting for Yusuf. I know people see him as this fuck up, right? And it's hard not to, but
Isn't that what he is?
for sure. Now,
Because I feel bad for him, man. Like, like Logan and KSI and those guys, I think they have everything going on with the boxing. I think it's a supplemental thing. I think it's a business move. I think in terms of a martial artist, I'm not really for it because to me it's kind of like disrespecting and kind of playing it down. But as a businessman, I'm like, fuck, that's genius. To be able to, on your their second fight, they're turning pro. They're able to make more money than most boxers can. I'm like, as a businessman, that's fucking genius. And they're also doing this as a side thing.
Yeah.
Yusuf, it feels like he doesn't know what to do. He's desperate, and all I know is to make shock content. So what's the most shocking thing? I'm a box. You know?
Yeah, I don't know what his motive is because it was a charity boxing match, right? But as a charity,
That's what they always say.
yeah, it was like a charity boxing match, but then the motive and the way it was set up was a little odd for me, right? So there was like aggression towards it, like, and they were just like in each other's face, like doing like weird dances and shit.
Yeah,
and
they fuck him up for leukemia. It's like, what the fuck? And you just have all these kids there with no eyebrows and bald heads, and they're like, what the fuck? I don't know if I want this money.
That's basically, I don't even know what the charity was
I don't know.
So
fucking homeless dogs. I don't know.
It's a stray dog, and it's a fucking picture of Yusuf's nose. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, matches.
yeah, but like it was such a weird thing to watch because and, I went back and I decided to watch some more of the videos. I kind of skimmed through
Like
it.
if it's training leading up to it.
Yeah, like I wanted to see him get better. And first of all, he was training at Ten Goose, so like
What's 10 Goose?
Ten Goose Boxing Gym is pretty well known for boxing. I think like Ryan Garcia even traded out of there or something like
shit.
that. But
Yeah.
Ten Goose has like legit boxers, and they took on the project. Obviously, it was a PR move for them.
Yeah,
It gets their gym a little known.
Yeah.
It's going to bring clientele.
I
in.
never heard of it,
Yeah.
but now I've heard of it.
Exactly. And so for Yusuf, like, I was like, dude, you had good trainers, and I think you're right. Like, he got in his head a little bit that he was a lot better than he thought he was, and he was boxing somebody that had way better length than him.
Who did he fight?
I don't know, some UK dude.
Another YouTuber?
Yeah, like he looks like he fucking boils shit over a cauldron too. Like he's like this really skinny YouTuber, huge bags under his eyes. Looks like he's never slept a day in his life. Very skinny too, like thin.
So they're not even the same weight class?
They might because he was taller.
Oh, I see.
And he used his reach very well. It's not like they were throwing hooks or anything else. It was just literally jabs. And then Yusuf got jabbed up because he fights like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Where he just has an open guard, super fucking wide.
Yeah.
And then when he was throwing his punches, hyper telegraphed, dropped his elbow, started throwing all these wide hits, never threw any straight punches. And he just bum rushed him.
Yeah.
And all that dude had to do was step back. It's not called a clinch. We'll wrap him up in boxing, right? So, and he wraps him up, moves back, comes in, Flicker jabbed Yusuf in the face, threw another jab, threw some crosses, and after a while, just Yusuf got tired. He got gassed out because he was so buff.
Yeah.
Super gassed out.
Yeah.
And you saw that in his training videos, and then nothing changed when he went in. So everything that he was taught in the gym went out the window when he went to that boxing ring.
Yeah.
Which I do understand, because I think a lot of people don't get it, that there are arguably really great fighters before they go into a ring. It's different, like the lights. And I'm not saying this from my personal experience. I've asked fighters.
Yeah.
So I've asked pro fighters, and they say that it's sometimes it's really hard to piece together, because right when you go into that ring, you're trying to zone out, but there's lights, there's people cheering, there's this ref, there's this cage, and then your adrenaline gets going.
You see your wife or girlfriend all of a sudden. Even like when I watch my training videos, like round one, how sharp and how intelligent I am. By the time you're tired, like your skill set drops by 50%. You're just trying to survive.
I know.
Like I'm not trying to be strategic. It's almost like just knee-jerk reflexes. Oh, I get punched, I'm gonna just try to return. I'm not trying to like, oh, I'm gonna try to bait him a little bit. Like this, all the brain stuff goes out the window.
The exhaustion is probably the hardest part, because you're just trying to live at this point.
I know.
Like, please just don't hit me. You know, because at that point, like the hands are dropped. There's no more foot movement.
Yeah.
Like you think you're moving your head, but literally it's just, you know.
Yeah. If I was boxing and I got wrapped up, I'd be like, yo, can we chill out for 2 rounds? It's 2 rounds.
I'll split the pot with you, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why people wrap up too, right? Like I don't know too much about boxing, but I feel like that's the time when they get overwhelmed. They wrap up so they can rest.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I've never done a boxing match or anything like that.
But you're doing more boxing now.
Yeah, I'm doing way more boxing now. I do that once a week, and I love it. Like it really helps me with just understanding footwork and understanding like the way my body needs to move. Because I think one thing that's really hard about lifting weights is if you have a lot of weight experience, you just end up fighting like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You know, like because you know, when you're repping out weights, no one's really doing full extension.
Yeah.
So it's always stopping here, going here, because you want time under tension. And then so because you do that so repetitively, now your jabs are like that. Like my jabs rarely am I like fully extending this way. So I started taking boxing just so I can correct all my bodybuilding and powerlifting like bad habits, and I really, really like it.
It's boxing's so scary for me. I think boxing's I wouldn't say easier per se, but there's less weapons that you have to worry about in terms of Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Muay Thai, there's the clinch, there's the knee, there's the elbow, there's fucking, if you do like whatever that Southeast Asian Muay Thai was that you showed me, headbutts.
Oh, the let way? Yeah, that shit's crazy, dude.
That's every fucking weapon possible at that point.
For sure, boxing is it feels safer.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get to that, time for our second sponsor. What up, guys? Our second sponsor is Noom. Getting in shape isn't just about losing weight. It's about learning healthier habits and feeling better about yourself, whether that's more stamina to keep up with your busy life, finally getting into those gold jeans, being more in tune with your body's needs, or practicing more self-care. So I'm a big, big fan of Noom because there's so many people that want to make changes to their body or they have fitness goals, but because they're only attacking it from one point of view, like workout or diet, they're not taking the whole comprehensive approach, which is focusing on lifestyle. So that's what I really like about Noom, because they focus on physical, psychological, and even social. So you can go out again. Don't just stay home because you don't want to be tempted to, and you can learn to resist temptations and be comfortable in social environments and trust your own ability to make choices. And Noom is a habit-changing solution that helps others learn to develop a new relationship with food through personalized courses. And they have workout programs and foods that you should be eating when you're going out or you're staying in. And it's based in psychology. And this is the most important part because it takes the whole lifestyle and comprehensive lifestyle into consideration. Noom teaches you why you do the things you do and arms you with the tools to break the bad habits and replace them with better ones. So if you want to take another approach to reaching your fitness goals, I highly suggest Noom.com/Beaw, B-E-A-W, to start your trial. Use B-E-A-W at Noom.com, and it's the last weight loss program you'll need. Thank you for sponsoring us. No, for sure it does. Like the more I started boxing now, there's just certain positions that you can get in that you know no punch is ever going to come that way. You know, you could just like, you just know if you're all the way down here like Mike Tyson, like you're just safe.
Yeah.
Because like in order for a right hand to come at you, the shoulders have to rotate first. So you can have two people just like shoulder to shoulder and we know we're not going to hit each other. Yeah. But in Muay Thai, you can clinch up, you can knee out of nowhere, or if your head's all the way down there, you can kick them in the face. Yeah. There's just so much more. So like in terms of like, I think for Muay Thai, I think the learning curve for me is actually much higher, because the minute I step in striking zone, the punch, I can get hit like anywhere. You know? Versus boxing, We could be in striking zone, but I know if I'm like this, you're still not gonna hit me.
Yeah.
Because my chin and my body is not open. But if I'm like this, you can kick me. You can do all kinds of shit.
Yeah. That's yeah. I definitely feel a little more safe with Muay Thai.
Did you do more shit?
Because I could do more shit. I'm kicking heavy too.
Yeah.
I'm very kicking heavy. Specifically with teeps. So
Yeah.
like I like to utilize distance a lot.
Yeah.
And so that movement becomes a little scary for me when I only have 2 weapons. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You know, at this point, because also too, like there's sweeps in Thai too.
Yeah.
Which is fucking great.
There's a lot of shit.
Way better than wrapping up. You toss somebody on their fucking ass. And when you get
Yeah.
tossed on your ass, it takes your spirit away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it doesn't hurt. It's just more like getting back up and falling back up again is exhausting, and it just makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
That's why Sanchai, he's fucking amazing. He sweeps the shit out of people.
And what's crazy is he's like 5'3".
That threw me off.
He's 5'3", but his timing and just his athleticism is just so good. And his ability to read people. He's like sweeping people that are like 6 feet tall.
Dude, I want to see a YouTube celebrity Muay Thai match, dude.
Fuck.
That'd be crazy. Not a lot of people like Muay Thai like that though.
Because it hurts.
Yeah, it's fucking painful.
Hurts like shit.
I have a fucking little hematoma on my shin right now.
Yeah.
Just because I got knee checked.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just the casualty.
Getting kicked in the leg, it fucking hurts. Yeah. You don't want to get. Sometimes I don't know. Like, would you rather get kicked in the leg or punched in the stomach?
I gotta get punched in the stomach.
Right?
100%.
Because like when you get punched in the stomach, you can kind of like flex a little bit, and then you're like, "Ooh, that hurts," and you can kind of hide it. If I get kicked in the leg and it's a good kick, I can't even hide. I'm like, fuck, woo!
I think when I get punched in the gut, like I'll have the wind knocked out of me, but then I'll recover after like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
If I get kicked in the leg hard,
It just makes you want to quit. I just start taking my gloves off. I take my mouthpiece out. I'm fucking done with this bullshit.
And then I'm limping for the whole fucking week, dude.
Yeah.
If I hit in the gut, I'm still good. I'm walking around after, but the leg kicks make me limp for the longest time.
Are there any terms that you would fight that you would do like a fight like Logan Paul KSI?
Money would make me do it.
It's like 100 grand?
100 grand? No.
500 grand?
500 grand I would.
Oh shit.
For 500K I would, and on top of that, I would just need time. Like I would ask for at least like 6 months for me to train completely. Because if I train, I'm not trying to get knocked out.
Yeah.
I would train my hardest, dude.
Yeah.
6 months straight, dude. I would be at Barbell.
Yeah. Finally.
You would see me at Barbell every fucking day. Yeah. Live, eat, and sleep that shit. Not because like I think I'm dope. It's because I don't want to get killed.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, there was recently another young boxer. Like he was 22 years old, I believe, and he fucking
sad,
he died.
I know.
Like people don't realize too with boxing, and I think it's kind of cool when the sports gets a lot of highlight because I love martial arts, right?
Yeah.
But martial arts is still a combat sport. You have to realize that even though it's a show and there's a pay-per-view, there's a huge risk of you getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like we know somebody right now, like, dude, I still am a big fan of him because he's a really nice dude. But this motherfucker got CTE like a motherfucker, man. And he started a podcast.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the guy's this is a dude that's brain damaged with a podcast.
Oh yeah.
You know? That's what happens in boxing and combat sports.
Yeah. He has the most wrinkly floors I've ever seen.
Yo, I love that guy.
Yeah, I know, man.
You know? But it's hard when sometimes too with fighters, they also don't know when to quit because it's the only thing that they know how to do.
Yeah.
They made their fame that way. They've identified themselves as a human being that way. They made their living that way. It's just through fighting.
Yeah.
And so there's fighters like Chuck Liddell. He came back to fight Tito Ortiz. He doesn't have it. And even before that, do you know what he said?
Was he 50 by the time he fought him or no? Maybe high 40s?
He's in his high 40s or something. I don't know. Tito and Chuck Liddell, I think they're around the same age as Anderson Silva. And they don't move like Anderson Silva.
No, they look old and stiff.
Exactly. Yeah. And when it was such a this fool said that he could give John Jones trouble before the Tito Ortiz match.
Who said that?
Chuck Liddell.
Oh my God.
He made that statement. He goes, I could give John Jones some trouble.
People don't even know how good John Jones is. And that guy's delirious. Man, oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
What do you think about the Adesanya, John Jones bickering back and forth?
Oh, I think that Adesanya doesn't want any of that for now because he has not lived in the light heavyweight class for a bit. Because that's like saying, this is my opinion, by the way. Like, I think Adesanya has the tools for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the weight. for it yet.
Yeah.
Because John Jones is actually more comfortable as a heavyweight than he is a light heavyweight.
Yeah.
And Adesanya is probably more close to, he's like in between a light heavyweight and a middleweight.
Yeah.
That's the area that Adesanya lives the best in.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then that's like saying like, oh, do you think John Jones will run through Francis Ngannou?
All right. Yeah, they're just a much bigger human being.
Ngannou knocks people out to another universe, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when he hit Overeem with that fucking uppercut, and then Overeem's face was like this.
Yeah.
He was knocked out.
I feel like Francis Ngannou is like a doctor's best friend. Like the doctors see it, like his fucking victims are like, cha-ching!
Yeah. He's such a nice dude too. Like every one of his interviews.
Yeah.
I just go in there to punch them in the face, and what happens is they knock out, and I don't know, whatever happens, I am there to win.
Yeah.
It's like English is a little limited too.
I was listening to a podcast with Kamaru Usman, and he was saying Francis Ngannou in sparring is actually very light.
Gentle.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know how, but like I don't ever feel threatened. But I just know if he accidentally does something, I'm fucking dead.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
I forgot who was sparring him. It was Uriah Hall. And then Uriah Hall, I think he back kicked him, and then Uriah Hall flew backwards. You know, because he's so big.
Yeah. Oh shit.
He was training in like he's just big from working in sand mines.
Yeah, and he was homeless for like a few years or something.
He's only been like professionally fighting for under 10 years. It's like 6 or 7 years or something like that.
Damn.
So by the time he did his first UFC match, it was only a few years.
Yeah.
And he's killing people.
Some
literally.
people are just nuts like that.
And he's just like, I don't understand how, that's not fair.
I know.
That's not fucking fair, dude. I pull my back from sitting in a plane. And that's it. That's all it takes.
Deontay Wilder, he went to the Olympics in 1 year.
I fucking hate people, dude.
From zero training to, oh shit, I got to provide for my daughter. I'm going to start training while full-time driving those trucks that carry drinks around. And he went to the Olympics in 1 year.
That's not fair, dude.
I know. And there's people that are in Cuba, been boxing since they're 5, and they barely make it.
That's not fucking fair, dude. So he's like one of those 1 in a million human beings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder what it's like to be like that. Because I have to work hard just to be mediocre at things.
I know, dude. That's what I feel like. I feel like even with just regular stuff, JK News, my own IG, whatever, I feel like I work hard and then I have 500,000 followers.
And then you just have a girl who just puts up her ass and then she gets 1 million followers. And,
I know.
And then she talks about people starving in Haiti with their fucking ass out and then gets like 1 million views. You know what is funny too? I found this on like a part of me wants to create few fake Instagram accounts so I could say how I feel about a lot of Instagram people. So I just want to comment and troll people so bad. Yeah. Like just because I want to say it, but I know.
What would you say to one of them?
Okay, so for example, I saw this video of a very beautiful woman, very sweet girl, right? And I'm not just saying that just to, you know, fluff it all up. I don't know this person, but I follow this person. And this person did a time lapse of her drawing, right? Terrible. Just time lapse and, you know, showing how dope her art is. And the whole comments just get, yo, you're so multi-talented, man. Like, how can you get it all like that? How you got beauty, booty, and artistic skills? Yeah. And my comment would be, take that shit down. It's trash.
Why don't you just put it as David So?
Because I'm not trying to do that, man. I'm going to church again.
You are?
Yeah, I'm going to church.
What made you want to start going to church?
You know what it is, man? I think it's something that I grew up with. And
when did you start?
Well, I've been going off and on for like the past few years, like, you know, for my whole life.
But not just regularly.
Yeah, and I'm trying to go regularly now. I think it's just because I like the community there.
I like it too.
And it's just, you know, you go into a place and you want to talk about nice ass people, man. When you find a nice church, these people make you feel like you haven't done a damn thing wrong in your life. You know,
really?
It's just very warm and welcoming. And I think like if you take, I take the religious aspect part of it. Yeah. You know, but if you go into a church sometimes and you find one that you like, if you don't take the religious aspect part of it, just the sermon alone and what they say, it's pretty dope.
Like good lessons.
Just good lessons, you know? And it's like, for me, it's like an hour podcast, a live podcast that I get to listen to that helps me become better as a human being.
Sermons are about an hour?
About 45 minutes to an hour, depending. Okay. And they go really fast. Like if it's really good. And there's one that I go to called Mosaic. Not the one in Hollywood. I go to one in Pasadena, and I like that one too. Like I usually skip the praise. Just because then I'm there for like an hour and a half and I start to fall asleep.
Yeah, it's praise after or before?
It's before. So I'll like catch the last like 10 minutes of praise and then I'll go right into it. But I think I really do enjoy that one routine of trying to go to church every Sunday, and it feels nice. And
you did that as a kid?
Did that as a kid, and then I think as an adult you have to make a choice whether you want to do it or not. So you don't have to go to church as an adult. Mom and dad aren't there to drive you there. You don't have to, and then you have to make a choice whether you want to be a part of that religion or not. And so for me, I think when I didn't go, it was like something was a little missing. I don't know what the fuck that was. Yeah. But for sure, when I started going, I started feeling a little whole again. So I'm trying to go back a little more consistently. Yeah,
I remember. So I went to a Christian school, private school, for second and half of third grade. And the community there, like all the parents knew each other, all the adults knew each other. And just the amount of care that they cared for, like the kids. It was like a group of adults caring for a group of kids. That just felt really nice. And even like the daycare teacher that was there, like after school, you know how at some like most schools, it just feels like they're there to do their job.
Yeah.
And so if there's a fight, they go, okay, I'm gonna stop it. I'll take it to the principal's office. He'll take care of it. I remember the lady, her name's Mary Jane. She was like an older lady. Like she would go, what are you guys doing, man? You know, like there's just a lot of like extra lessons, extra nurture that you just felt so like, oh man, I don't want to do that again. Because if I do this, I'm gonna let her down.
Yeah, there's a good sense of community, and you know that saying of it takes a whole village to raise a kid. I think there's a lot of that in churches.
Yeah,
like everybody plays their part.
Go to church.
You might like it, man.
Yeah.
You might like the one that I go to on Sunday. It's really nice. It's actually on a big screen. So the main pastor, Erwin McManus, is at the Hollywood one.
Yeah.
And then it gets streamed into a big ass screen.
Oh shit.
So it's pretty dope. Yeah. And it's
so you're not even you don't even care if it's a Korean church or anything.
No, I don't. I think I grew up in Korean churches, but the thing I did,
they have a different culture. It's pretty cool too, though.
It's called beat your ass.
Yeah.
Then fucking give you food after.
Yeah. Food's bomb though.
Yeah, Korean people are really good at bullying you, and then afterwards they show you love.
I think that's the way I grew up, so I think that's how I show love.
Yeah,
too.
You think? You think, or you know?
I don't know.
It's hard though. Like it's something that we grew up with. Like I was just talking about on Joe on our podcast, and like I remember this guy. He fucking pinned me to the floor, and he gave me a purple nurple so fucking hard, my whole chest bruised.
Oh shit. Damn.
My whole fucking the next day, like it looked like I had like pancakes as areolas because he bruised my chest so hard.
Place inside the church?
Inside the church. It was after Bible study. And he liked me.
What the fuck?
Like I was like one of his favorite tongsengs, dude. And he fucked me up.
I saw potential in you.
I know. He's like, you're gonna be some good shit. Come here, motherfucker. Did you get? We call it otobai, but it's the motorcycle.
Motorcycle, yeah, all the time. And I got this donchi or whatever all the fucking time.
And it's so funny because Asian people are hella homophobic, but they wouldn't mind putting a heel into somebody's dick.
Yeah.
Or like fucking sticking fingers up people's ass and shit.
Yeah. So I went to in high school, I played drums for a praise band for a Korean church. And then my Boy Scout troop was like half Korean. So I got like probably like bi-weekly hazing all the time.
That's crazy. What did they do to you?
Just these things. Or like camping. Like I had his name's Tony. He knows Jill's brother, which is crazy.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So this guy was when I was in junior high, he was already a legend. Like he was beating the fuck out of everyone because it was a
legend.
He was already a legend. Like he was beating the fuck out of everyone, and this is during like a super gang infested time. We go into high school. This guy's not tall. He might be like 5'6", but he's like stocky, so maybe like 190, 200 pounds. And he was on the football team, wrestling team, one of the best wrestlers. And so you know the moves that he puts on me. He's like beating the fuck out of me all the time, which made me kind of like wrestling. And then we would go on Boy Scout camp because he was trying to become an Army Ranger, which is like special operations. So when we go to Boy Scout camp, he's always like, Bart, you're going to be in my tent. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be in your tent. I already know what that means.
He likes you.
Yeah, and he's like, you're going to be in my tent. And then we were getting like merit badges, and he'll see me do like basket weaving or some shit. And like, man, that looks tight. You're going to do the same with mine. And so I'm just doing all of his homework, environmental studies, everything. I'm always doing all his work. And if I pull out a knife that he thinks is dope, he goes, oh, it's mine for the trip. So I'm just getting taxed left and right, beating my ass all the fucking time.
And you were really tiny at this time too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fucking sleeping at 5 a.m. in the tent because he's forced me. I don't even want to be in his tent. And out of nowhere, he just jumps on me, starts wrestling me at like 5 a.m. in the morning. And this fool doesn't sleep with any clothes on. So he's just fucking, this dick dangler is just out. I'm just like, motherfucker. But then it was cool to like catch up with Gio's brother and find out that he actually became a ranger. So like shit. All that crazy madness, like high testosterone,
channeled somewhere.
He got channeled somewhere, and he became something big. And I'm like, that's fucking tight. Because then it would suck if I was like, yeah, I got my ass beat by like this fucking
T-Mobile consultant.
yeah.
That's fucking crazy though.
Yeah,
it's weird when you kind of like. I always find it weird when I go back home and I meet somebody who I personally thought was a fucking loser. And it's odd how they just flip their life. Like there's a couple of homies who I saw, they're like fucking pharmacists. And I'm like, how the fuck? You were so dumb.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you? Well, maybe they probably think about that about me too.
One of the biggest meth heads I know, his name's Dennis. He became a pastor.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. Like I went to go visit my buddy Alec, who lives in Cerritos, and I ran into him at like a Taiwanese restaurant. And he came in and I'm like, oh shit, what's up, Dennis? And he's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, what the fuck? Used to talk hella hood.
Yeah.
And this fool fucking tries to talk like he's like, I don't know, like some weird commercial. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's weird.
That'd be so funny if you just talk to him. It's like, man, stop talking like this. Like, no, man, this is who I am. And it's like, dude, you just start ragging on him, and he takes you to the side. He's like, hey, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know.
Cut the shit out, man. I'm a pastor now, motherfucker.
I know.
Well, but I was a pastor too, and I think it's hard. It's so interesting that he could just turn it off like that, because it was hard for me. Because when I was trying to,
I think he's delusional. You know, some people they're just like I had before we get to that one, shout outs to our last sponsor. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast. Our third sponsor for this podcast is Skillshare, and you guys know I fucking love Skillshare. Recently, we just hired a new person to Barbell. Why? Because she's good at copy. I've said this before. It's really hard to find a good copywriter this day and age. Like, there's a lot of people that are pretty good at photography, good at design, good at website building, but copy, being able to write and tone right with the voice, that's pretty difficult. And guess what? You can take copywriting classes at Skillshare. But if you're still interested in photography and design and productivity, there's also those too, because Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of amazing classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. Right now, Skillshare is offering BeawCast listeners 2 months of unlimited access to thousands of classes for free. Go to Skillshare.com/Beaw. Again, go to Skillshare.com/Beaw for 2 months of free classes. That's Skillshare.com/Beaw, BEAW. And we're back. So I had a friend named Nina, and her sister's like tatted the fuck up. And she was one of those where like I would go visit her and like hang out at her house in high school. And then she talks like a dude, like foo, like what the fuck you guys doing here, foo, like that. And then I remember,
sexy.
Yeah. Like she was like a chick gangster chola, pretty much, right? And then in college, when I went back to go visit Nina and her family, she was like, hi, Bart, how have you been? And I'm like, what the fuck? I know who the fuck you really are. Don't fucking give me that bullshit. Yeah.
Like, I know the shit that you've done, dude.
Yeah.
It's weird because when I was at church, I think at a certain point, I was like 6 feet tall when I was 14.
Oh, shit.
So at a certain point, I had enough strength to be like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I remember there's this one dude at church who, I can't even remember his name, but he was weird because I grew up in the bad neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And I was a dweeby little kid, very nice kid. But I used to get bullied a lot, and at a certain point, I just kept standing up for myself, so I got in a lot of weird little fist fights. But you know, at church, it was weird because there was a dynamic of you have to respect your young. You don't ever say shit to your young, and you want to be accepted into a group, so you just kind of follow along like sheep.
Yeah.
So I've never really talked back or stood up to them. I just let them give me purple nurples or whatever. You know, just
fine, I'm here.
You know.
Yeah.
But after a certain point, you know, you start hanging out with a bad crowd, and they kind of get into your head of like, oh, you don't got to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
So I remember this dude, he grew up in a nicer area, and he would always talk about how, you know, whatever, the fights that he would get into and all this other shit. And he was a fucking puss.
Yeah.
Always was a puss.
Yeah.
And even as a kid, I kind of knew that, but he would gas himself up to younger people, and we just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But after a while, you know, word gets around in Sacramento's not that big of a town. And I was like, oh, this guy's a little fucking puss. So I remember he was like, we used to be into those like yo-yos and shit.
Yeah. I remember.
It's fucking like trying to.
Yeah. Those were big for a while.
Hell yeah, that was over here doing the cradling shit.
Yeah.
And then this motherfucker came up and he just took my yo-yo, and I remember I just snatched the back out of his hand. He's like, what? And I just literally, I'm big, and he's like my height too, but big angry kid. I fucking shoved him, and I literally told him, I was like, if you touch me again, I will kill you. I literally told him I was gonna kill him.
Oh shit.
And then I got in trouble because he told on me like a little bitch.
Yeah.
You know, because I got so sick of getting, because I didn't like getting punked by him because I didn't respect him. You know, the other youngs that were like purple nurpling me, I like respected them a lot. And
Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I wanted to be like the Tongzeng in the group. But he didn't earn that from me. So because he was like one of those Korean dudes that wanted me to call him Hyung, and I'm like, I'm not gonna call you Hyung, dude. You're a little fucking.
You gotta
bitch.
earn that shit.
You gotta earn that shit. You're a little fucking bitch. You just think that you're dope because you're taller and then you're older.
Yeah.
But I literally told him I was gonna fucking kill him because I got so sick of him trying to like bully me on some dumb shit, because I think he would bully you, but he wouldn't show the love aspect after.
Yeah.
You know, because I would get a purple nurple, but they would give me a drumstick ice cream cone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Or, you know, somebody would try to fuck with me, they would fucking kick their ass for me.
Tony always had my back.
Yeah, you know?
Only I get to kick Bart's ass. No one else.
Wait, is this the guy that made that weird little sandwich for you or whatever?
He asked me if I wanted a donut, and he picked up. Yeah, this is the same guy. So during Boy Scouts, we woke up. He cared about me, wanted me to make sure I had my first meal. He goes, "Hey, you want a fucking donut?" I'm like, "Yeah." He takes Wonder Bread, pokes the hole out, gets fucking sugar, and douses it around. He goes, "Here." I'm like, "Thanks."
That's fucking ghetto.
I know, dude.
He's like doing it out of love. Here, eat this.
Yeah.
Was he Korean?
Korean Tony Kim.
Oh god, dude, Korean people, man, they're so fucked up.
Yeah.
Did you?
I saw this fool fight this cholo in the PE locker room, and he was beating the fuck out of him, and he grabbed him by the head, and he was slamming him against the combination locks. This guy was fucking vicious.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he was just a crazy motherfucker.
When I was in high school, there was number one, I didn't really like playing certain sports, right? I didn't like playing volleyball or some shit. But you know, this is not high school. I'm sorry, junior high. I went to this junior high called James Rudder, and there was this kid named Brian, and I remember he was like a really goofy kid, but the kid had a loud fucking mouth on him. And you know, I'm like a nice dweeby kid, glasses. I look like a fucking anime nerd, which I was, and still am. But you know, because I grew up, I think, in a worse neighborhood, if I didn't stand up for myself, I would just constantly get my fucking lunch money taken.
Yeah.
So I just had to get loud. I had to do whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that when you look a certain type, people just try to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
But I was really big for a fucking 13-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's not like
people just insecure. Probably someone bullied them, so they got to take it out on someone.
Yeah. So we were playing volleyball, I remember, and we were playing PE. And mind you, I'm like a really big fat kid. I didn't want to play volleyball. I wasn't into it. And this kid got so fucking mad at me. He threw a volleyball at my head. And I just remember just sitting there, and I started boiling up, so angry. I was like 13 at the time. And then we go into the locker room. And as I'm about to go into the locker room to go change, he just closes the locker room door on me. This point, I'm fucking seeing red, because he already got a pass by throwing the volleyball.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because one of my really close friends, he told me about this story that he remembered, but I didn't know he was there because we weren't friends at the time. But I got so fucking mad. Like he came up to me in the locker room just trying to talk shit. I literally grabbed his face and I kept smashing it into the fucking locker over and over. And then I literally started stomping him in the fucking head. Like, I was a fucking crazy kid.
Yeah.
And then I remember right when I stopped, after I stopped kicking him in the fucking head, the PE teacher came in. This little bitch, he gets up and he goes, teacher, he was hitting me. Then I got even more mad, and I started trying to fucking sock him in the face. But the funny shit about that was one of my closest friends, he was like, he only told me recently, he goes, you know, in junior high, I was fucking scared of you because I saw you almost kill somebody in the locker room. And I was like, which one are you talking about? He goes, which one are you talking about? It was when you were slapping that kid's fucking face into the locker. I fucking hated that kid, dude.
Damn.
It was so weird because he was talking so much shit, but then we were starting to get into a fight. This fool just ratted on me.
Have you ever met any of these guys, like back when you go to Sacramento for stuff? Do you still run into any of them?
Not really, because we all run in different circles.
Yeah.
That kid, I don't know what happened to him. I know
I actually don't want to even run into any of them.
Yeah.
All of the people, like Tony Kim, I think I'm cool with, but just a lot of the people that I hung out with before, I randomly got this is maybe like 4 years ago. Someone I used to kick it with, I didn't change my phone, so he calls me. He goes, "Hey, what's up, Bart?" I'm like, "Oh shit, what's up, Michael?" And then he's like, "Dude, we should catch up sometime." I'm like, "Yeah, man, we probably should." I mean, like, I haven't hung out with you in a long ass time. And he's like, "Yo, I just started this new dispensary. Can you promote me in your videos?"
Oh my God.
Like, "Motherfucker." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." So like, I was just like, a lot of the people, I don't know if they're still in the old mindset, or I just feel like I don't have any, not anything to gain, as if like I'm trying to leech off anyone, but I just don't know if we're the same people and if I would have any benefit from hanging out anymore.
Yeah, you know,
I would just feel awkward, I think.
But friendships are something that people benefit from, right? Like,
Yeah.
whether it's energy, whether it's some people do it for like clout, financial gain, depending on what you consider friendships. I don't really consider that friendships, but once time passes, it's weird how you just evolve as a human being. And it's never for me when people say, "Oh, you think you're better than them." It's not better. It's we're different now. Your life experiences and my life experiences in the past 10, 15 years were vastly different. Now, when I get together with some of these people, unless we have that really deep connection, I can't connect with them. We don't have the same interests. We can't talk about the same things. The way they think about life, how they approach life, all different.
Yeah.
Also, too, now you have a kid. Do I want you around my kid?
True.
Those are the other things.
Yeah.
Do I want my kid to see you and then, you know, be connected to you? Because that's a huge leap now.
Yeah.
If not, then I don't really need you in my life. And I think for us too, as we get older, my circle is getting smaller and smaller, but they're getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah, same.
You know?
Yeah.
So I have a lot of, I always say we have a lot of acquaintances, and then we have like casual friends, but I only have a small amount of people that I'm really, really tight with, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, most people, if they call me up, you know, while I'm doing something like, "Hey, you want to hop on a podcast?" I'd be like, "No." You know, I'm not driving an hour.
Thanks, David.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, I texted him, was it yesterday or today?
It was today. It was this morning. You
Yeah,
fucking,
like at 5 a.m. I was like, "Man, I miss you. You want to come on the podcast?" At least that's a reason to hang out.
I was like, "All right, I'll come on the podcast."
That's tight.
You know?
Hell yeah.
Anything, you know, like I said, you get older, you just stop caring about, you know, trying to please everybody. And, you know, there's motives like that too, like weird motives.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to hang out, we could have hung out. Or you could have been a little more sneaky about it. You know, the tactic was terrible.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if I really connect with people like that too much from back at home, except for a few people. But then I still keep in contact with a lot of my high school friends though, and they're relatively the same. But
Damn, that's good.
yeah, but
Was Vince, were you guys friends in high school?
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Vince is like one of my closest friends. Like, I fucking love that guy to death. The ones that I don't keep in contact with are the thugs.
Oh, I see.
Those ones,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because what I considered friendship at that age, I don't know if it was friendship. I think it was me liking being a part of a group that made me feel safe.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, because I didn't want to get bullied anymore. I didn't want to get punked anymore. So I wanted to hang out with people who were tougher than me because I know I had protection.
Yeah. Or if the bonds were based off of like drugs or crime, it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. I feel like I'm a way different person, and I don't really care about, even like going back to the whole MMA thing you're talking about, like the type of fights that we had where we beat the shit out of each other. Like, I don't know if I could do that. And like when I first started with Ron, I'm like, okay, cool. Finally, I got some good instruction. I got Ron, I got Nick, I got PJ. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should do a fight. See like how much better I could be. But then just the older I get, I'm like, do I want to hurt someone? Do I want to get hurt? What's the point of getting hurt? And I'm like, I don't even know if I have the same like fire.
We don't
before.
have that hate in our heart anymore. There's no point. And it takes...
Even when we drill and I like go a little bit extra hard, I'm like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. I don't even mean it, you know?
Yeah. It's just that little hate that kind of gets you to become a fighter.
Yeah.
It's not there. It's just, to me, it's basketball now.
Yeah. That's how I view it.
I like it like basketball. That's why originally I was just training with Nick doing the one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I got really good, because I was so obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Not really good, but better than I was before. You know what I mean? Like
Better than any of these fools that we see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but after a while, once I started, bringing you guys in, it was like, oh, this is basketball now. This is fun. And it made me want to do more, but not as serious.
Yeah.
Because before I would go to a tennis court, I would go outside, I would practice my jab and my cross consistently over and over.
shit, that's
Footwork,
tight.
set up the ladders, do all this footwork shit.
Yeah.
Ain't doing that. Ain't doing that shit no more. You crazy?
Yeah.
Like, I eat ice cream, I'm chilling, and then when I see you guys, I train.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I could see myself doing drills and doing light spar work for the rest of my life till my hips won't work anymore.
I came this close to going, oh fuck, I think I'm about to unleash everything I'm learning on this guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I guess it'll be the last story before we end. But I was outside helping Gio's brother like position cameras because we're installing cameras outside the house. I hear this guy banging and yelling and cursing random shit on my neighbor's in front of my neighbor's house.
Yeah.
And that guy is like a mainland Chinese guy. So when I see that and it's a weekend, I assume he's home. And the second thing I'm assuming is this fool getting punked? Like he's scared to come out of his own house.
Yeah.
So I text him. I'm like, hey man, are you home? And then he goes, no, I'm at work. I'm like, okay, cool. So now I know how to deal with the situation. And I'm like, hey. And I'm like, can I help you? And he immediately changes up his act. He goes, oh, yeah. I'm here to pick up some papers. And I'm like, what papers? He goes, oh, I'm here to like, I'm just with the whole auditing thing. I'm here he's just making a bullshit story. And then I was like, oh yeah, let me call my neighbor then. He goes, oh, what's your neighbor's name again? And then I'm like, this guy's so fucking dumb. Never played Mafia before. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just save him as my neighbor. I don't know his name. So I call him like, hey, there's a guy asking for papers. Are you expecting him? And he goes, no. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, hey man, I just want to confirm that you might be his friend. Can I take a picture of you? He was like, yeah. He stands like this. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just collecting evidence like nothing. I take a picture of him and then
start smiling.
yeah, take a picture of him and I'm like, hey man, what's your name? And he goes, Avery Sheldon. He gives me first and last name like a fucking idiot. And so this guy, he's probably like late 30s, early 40s, looks kind of dirty, like a white homeless guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh shit, I think I hear someone hanging themselves in the back. I got to go in the back and check it out. I'm like, no one's been home. His stories are just fucking crazy.
What did he say? That is the most ridiculous thing how did you hear somebody hanging themselves?
That's his segue to getting out of whatever the conversation.
Oh, that was just a jump right into
Yeah. Right after he told me his name and I'm like, hey, I don't think he's expecting you. Oh shit, you hear that? I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's crazy. So because he's crazy, I'm like, okay, this guy's probably a meth head. Here's my chance. Everything that PJ, Ron, Nick has ever taught me, I'm about to unleash on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't think anyone's even home. And then as I walk closer and closer to him, like within arm's distance, he's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'll just come back later. Yeah, I'm cool. And he just starts running off. But then that was that close to, I was like, oh, fuck.
I'm going to have to light this fool up.
Yeah, I was about to light his ass
That's
up.
fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
Do you hear somebody hanging themselves in the back?
I don't know. What does that even sound like?
How does that, what are you saying right now, you fucking psychopath?
I know.
This is at your house?
Yeah, our new house.
That place is so nice.
So there's a problem. Like, it's a super nice neighborhood, but the metro stops where we're at right now. Oh. So LAPD and our police department have this back and forth war right now where LAPD takes all the homeless people. They want to get them out of their city. So they throw them on the metro and they send them. And then it just dumps off in our city. So all the PD in our city get those guys and wrangle them and then sends them back. I have a friend that works in the police department next door. And I texted her. I'm like, hey, do you know Avery Sheldon? She goes, I fucking hate that motherfucker. Because they arrest him weekly. Trespassing on colleges, random people's houses. But it's when trespassing is only like 2 days in jail. So you arrest him and then he's out. You arrest him and he's out.
I wonder what the solution for that shit is, dude. Like,
there is none. There's none. My friend actually called the current police department. And they're like, hey, California is a liberal state, so there's nothing we can do. And then one of my neighbors is a police officer. I asked him, like, what do you think we should do? Because this is hurting his community too. And he goes, what sucks about California is because it's so liberal. Anytime any cop and homeless man goes to court, because I was like, what if you just beat the fuck out of him or arrest him or whatever? And he goes, anytime they go to court, the homeless guy always gets recategorized as mental illness. And now it's cops versus mental illness. Cops always lose.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just the way politics and recategory. It's not like not cop versus burglar that broke into your house, almost stole your baby and is sniffing your underwear. It's cop versus fucking schizo guy or whatever.
That's fucking crazy, man.
And then the schizo guy gets let loose for some reason.
That
Or
sucks.
meth head or whatever. Yeah, I know.
That's why Skid Row's getting so bad, man. It's grown like exponentially since I first moved to LA.
Yeah.
Skid Row is crazy right now.
Yeah,
man.
it's pouring out.
It's so expansive. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know how they're going to control that. And it's just all. I mean, not everybody out there is like that, but there's a lot of drug addicts there.
Yeah.
A shit ton. There was an epidemic recently where they created a synthetic drug and people were dropping dead in Skid Row.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, my cop buddy was telling me, you know, back in the day, all the movies, when they see like a brick of something, they stab it with the knife, they go like this, and then like they taste it.
Oh, yeah.
They don't do that anymore. Because nowadays, you stab it with the knife, if it's fentanyl, you can just pass out and die right then and there. That's how crazy it is. So now, if you pop a trunk and there's bricks of shit, you immediately put on latex gloves and you put all that stuff into a plastic bag and you send it to forensics and let them figure it out. Because there's cops that are like, literally gather evidence, put it in their car, and then they're driving and they just pass out and die.
Damn, that shit's that serious?
It's fucking strong, yeah. It's so potent. They're using that to like dilute some of the other stuff because it's so fucking strong. So they'll use it to dilute, like let's say meth, and you got some dirty ass meth, and people aren't getting that high. So you just put like a drop of fentanyl in it, and now this meth is like crazy potent now.
What the fuck?
I know, man.
I used to crack up when I see the cops always do that shit. They just fucking stick their finger. No, this is the stuff right here.
Yeah, because like they're getting high for free. They're like, oh yeah, that's it.
They just kept doing it constantly. I'm not sure yet. Let's do it again.
yeah. Cool, man. Thanks, David, for coming on the podcast. Time's up, ready.
You stupid son of a bitch. It only took me an hour to get here.
I know. David's fucking awesome. I just texted him this morning. He just came. Thank you guys for watching BeawCast. See you guys next time. Peace.